I've been meaning to make another video about this because it's a very fascinating story. However, the past day or so has been absolutely insane and hectic with all of this news breaking. We got ships hitting bridges that are collapsing upon impact. We got Diddy out here diddling across the universe, getting puff daddied around by the Department of Homeland Security. Who knows what's going to go on with that situation? But I assume that Diddy may take down some powerful people with him. But as I reported to you all the other day, scientists and doctors, people way smarter than us, they've discovered they've diagnosed a new condition, a new syndrome, if you will, that they're calling demon face syndrome. And much like the name, supposedly, from what the experts say, when someone is suffering from this condition, it causes them to see all humans as literal demons. They can watch TV and everything's normal. They can flip through a magazine or the internet or do whatever. But when they see a human being in person, something in their brain, apparently from what the doctors say, it makes them view other humans as demons. Like you get these sharp teeth, your mouth gets spread out, sharp, pointy ears. Some really crazy stuff that's kind of hard for me personally to believe, but they were discussing this on the news, and I thought that this would be an interesting clip to show you all because there's open discussions about this condition happening out there, and I'm just really wondering what's really going on with this because it's just odd timing. I've never heard of anything like this before, and they're saying it's not schizophrenia or anything like that. No, this is something different. They don't even really know they don't want to say it's like a mental illness because people can be perfectly normally fine. Nothing else is wrong with them. The only thing that's wrong is that they see other humans as demons. It's odd. I know it sounds unbelievable, but you can go Google it. It's being talked about across the mainstream news networks. I'm going to roll this clip, though, really quickly. Go ahead and discuss what you want to discuss down in the comments below. After this clip, though, I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Stuff I love. Imagine your vision is totally normal, and then one day you see demonic features everywhere on people only, just like this, what you see behind me. Now, that's a reality for a man named Victor Shera. He has extremely rare yet terrifying disorder called PMO, and it's commonly known as, or now known because people didn't know about it at first. It's called the demon face syndrome. People with the condition see parts of other people's faces distorted in shape, texture, position, or color. For Shera, that means grotesque, grimace, elongated eyes, and deeply etched scars. Also, pointed ears. There are 75 known cases of the disorder. My next guest, well, we talk about it, and he is kind of skeptical, but he says there's some proof. And joining us now here on The Factor Uncensored, we have with us Dr. Nick Hardy. Dr. Nick, I'm always looking for the weird and the different, and I think I found it today. And this condition, we're told, is called demon face syndrome. Now, it's when an individual sees someone and their face seems distorted, almost satanic, demon-like. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
I haven't. And to your point, when I saw that only 75 cases have been reported, I said, ooh, we really looked high and low to find this one. But I have not heard of this one before. Doesn't mean that it's not valid. Doesn't mean that it's not real. I just haven't heard it. This is the first time that I've heard about this disorder.
And 75 cases in a world of billions of people, that's pretty low, right?
It is. It's extremely low. And truthfully, I need to look and see what the threshold is for it even comes up on people's radar, at least from a medical perspective. But I'll say this, they say 75 reported. that means that there could be more people, but just out of fear of, embarrassment or what does this look like? What do people think? I mean, am I crazy? Did I, eat something bad? Is this temporary? I mean, just all the thoughts and feelings that come along with, this
So
being.
how are they describing this so-called demon face syndrome? What is it exactly from what you've been able to ascertain?
Yeah, so what I've seen is basically this is a disorder that when people look at others, there's this distorted view that creates a demon-like figure. And so, some of their eyes may kind of spread out, there may be distortions on their skin. And this only happens when they're looking at people. I don't think that they said that they saw the same imagery when they looked at a sheet of paper. And so it's happening in real time, according to some of these reports.
And I think they examined and they used in one of the case studies a Tennessee truck driver who said he began seeing people's faces and they looked like demons back in 2020. And the term schizophrenia has been tossed around. Where does that fit in?
It doesn't fit in here because in this situation, this is just visual distortion, whereas with schizophrenia, a lot of times people have delusional thoughts and beliefs. And so they may see it, but then there's a narrative that goes along with it that, creates a story around what could be happening, some hallucination. This is I just seeing things that don't look normal. So totally different than schizophrenia.
Wow. It's kind of like I don't even know what to do with this, but I'm so interested in it if people are actually seeing others who look like demons just visually. Because
Yeah.
that could lead to some mental issues. If you think people are demons around you, that would affect your brain.
Oh, 100%. I mean, even just how you respond to someone that is your roommate versus a demon that's coming in your room,
Right.
totally different. But I'll say this, when I was reading about this, one of the things that I do think from a mental health perspective that we have to be careful of is even labeling it demon could
Mhm.
push people away who could be suffering from this disorder. And I think this has been the case with a lot of mental health disorders over the history of what we have come to learn about mental health. We used to call it mental retardation, I mean, all of these derogatory terms that we're fighting some of those stigmas now, just in the mental health space. So I think even though it's early, not a lot of people have it, we still have to be careful how we describe it.
Do you put a lot of credibility in it, though? Do you think they know what they're talking about? Not the people, but those who may be studying the people, who may be buying into this.
Yeah, I do put some credibility into it. I mean, because when I looked at the study, I mean, there was some merit in how they went about kind of verifying this. But I will say initially, I was like, oh, here we go again. We just making up stuff now. But it came from a credible source, and they did name that, hey, this is still very early, only 75 cases reported. And so it's not common. I think there's probably more research and more studies that need to be done. But I think if there's a immediate influx of people who say now that they have this disorder, I think that it could raise some questions or some concerns about the validity of everything. So we'll see.
Absolutely. We will see, Dr. Nick Hardy. Thank you for joining me and indulging me in my weirdness.
Listen, I don't want to sound too extreme here, but maybe if you wake up and you start seeing demons, maybe you need a freaking exorcism. It's like these people are going to the doctor, and the doctors are coming up with all of these medical and scientific explanations. They're pumping them with antidepressants and other pharmaceuticals. Maybe they need to go see a priest or something like that. Like maybe they need an exorcism. All I'm saying is if I wake up and I start seeing demons, I'm going to explore other routes as opposed to just, looking into the medical system because I don't know. I just really find this odd. I don't know if this is something that they're doing to try to normalize people seeing some wild things in the days to come. I don't know, but this is something I've never heard of before. apparently there's only 75 cases in the world. This is something that's newly discovered. There's been talks about it for, the last few years or so, but they're just now coming up with a name and a diagnosis, and they're just now, openly talking about this condition, and they just now started, being able to form pictures to kind of show you what these people see and all of that nonsense. But like I said, I understand that all of these people, they get scared, they go to the doctor, but maybe they need to go to freaking church. I don't know. All I'm saying is maybe these people, got something going on with them that can't be explained through, medicine or science. Maybe it's something else. And I'm wondering if there's anyone else out there suffering from this condition that has explored different routes as opposed to just going and getting pumped with more medicines that will probably give you more hallucinations and make you even crazier and more depressed in the long run. But hey, it is what it is. As of right now, though, just know that this is out there. Like I said, it's rare. They say there's only like 70-something cases in the world. But why now? Why is this coming to the forefront now? That's my question, and I can't help but be skeptical when you hear things like this in a time like this. You know what I mean? But let me know your thoughts about all of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, if you want to donate to the channel, you could do so via CashApp, or you could donate via Super Thanks, or for free, you could help the channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.